So, what do you see here? You see two hills. Let me tell you, these hills belong to the Aravalli range, that is on the northern plains of India. Now, what do you see here? You see that there are two separate hills, but surprisingly, these two were once one hill. Right. So, over the years, due to erosion and human activities, the hills of Aravalli range have been destroyed. So, what do you mean by erosion? Well, in this video, we'll be learning about weathering. So, you must be thinking that now that we're learning of weathering, where does erosion come in? Let me tell you that most of you must be thinking that weathering and erosion are same, but they are not. How? We'll learn about it. So what happens is, the rocks tend to expand during the daytime due to high temperatures and contract during the night time due to low temperatures. This continuous expansion and contraction leads to the weathering of rocks. Yes, weathering therefore means the breaking up of rocks on the Earth's surface. Now, after they have been broken down, they get carried from one place to another, and that is erosion. Therefore, now we know that the breaking up and decomposition of rocks is called weathering, right? Also, it involves the crumbling of rocks at the same place. This makes it a static process. Now, since we know that weathering takes place at the same place and is a static process, erosion on the other hand, which means carrying away of the weathered rocks from one place to another, makes it a dynamic process. This is the key difference between weathering and erosion. Now moving on. You must understand that weathering takes place with the help of its agents, right? So in a school we see the teacher, the principal, the students, the domestic staffs all together help in the working of the school, right? Similarly, when weathering takes place, these agents help in the weathering process, right? So what are the agents? The agents, as you can see, are rainwater, temperature changes, wind, man, animals, plants, and frost. So we'll learn about these in details in the next few slides. Before that, could you help me answer this question? Well, what does it say? What type of a process is weathering? Is it a dynamic process? Or is it an endothermic process? Or a static process? Or is it a rare process? Well, the answer is it is a static process as it takes place at one particular location, right? Now, while we're talking of the weathering as a process, we must understand that it has been divided in three types, depending on the agents that work on it, on the location, and how these weathering takes place. So you see it has been divided into biological weathering, mechanical or physical weathering, and chemical weathering. So today in this video, we'll be particularly looking at the biological weathering. So you know, biological weathering is the most interesting one, as it talks about microorganisms working on the rocks. So the microorganisms tend to secrete acids, different kinds of acids that tend to break or loosen up the rock, right? This is leading to biological weathering. So you know that the growth of microorganisms causes rocks to disintegrate. It makes them very weak and eventually breaks them, right? Now, plants, being another agent of biological weathering, tend to sometimes grow on the cracks of the rocks. As they keep growing, their roots tend to widen these cracks and eventually the rocks disintegrate, thus leading to biological weathering of the rocks. Here are some other examples or agents of biological weathering, and they are the burrowing animals. So some rodents you see here tend to make holes on the earth's surface, and they tend to destroy or disintegrate, and these help in weathering. Interestingly, these also help in biological weathering. As you can see here, these are known as piddocks, and they have shells around them. These shells tend to have sharp edges. So these piddocks that live right near the shore tend to make holes or grooves in the rocks. By rotating themselves, and the sharp edges on the shells help in making depressions or grooves in the rocks. And they live here. They live here because they get protection from the strong waves, right? So these also help in biological weathering. So these animals together are agents of biological weathering. Now, besides these, we also have human beings leading to biological weathering. How is that? Human beings break rocks for mining, quarrying, farming, and construction purposes, right? These tend to disintegrate or destroy the natural formations and tend to promote or enhance the weathering of these rocks, leading to their exposure to the agents of the weathering. Right. So now we know that hills of Aravalli range were clearly weathered away or eroded due to the biological weathering agents. So in this video we learnt about biological weathering, where we saw that plants, animals, and man can help in the process of biological weathering. Before that, we also learned what exactly weathering means, how is it different from erosion. Weathering is a static process while erosion is a dynamic process, right? We also learned that weathering can be of three types: biological weathering, mechanical or physical weathering, and chemical weathering, out of which we concentrated or focused on the biological weathering today. And in the next few videos, we'll be learning about the other two types of weathering in details.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. You can also register for free at deltastep.com or download the DeltaStep app to learn one-to-one with our amazing teachers, or to get access to all our 5,000 plus amazing videos as per your school syllabus. Master each topic with our adaptive practice technology. Get million plus questions with step-by-step solutions and unlimited mock test. Get all your doubts resolved instantly. Learn via games and win amazing prizes like PlayStations and iPads. So at DeltaStep, learning is not just fun and easy, it is rewarding too. So register for free now.